Alrighty, ready. Nice, that landed on the right stream. Alrighty, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome on back to some more Railroads Online. We got a line to build. Actually, we got a little bit more than that. If I fly around, actually, we'll give you guys a quick little shot of what we did last time on stream. And then I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I did. Ignore the oil industry there. Some of the stuff that I did off camera. But here's our double track line up to our iron mine location. And it hugs the mountain pretty nicely. Not perfectly, but you know, it's good enough, in my opinion. And it's all 0.5%, so I'm hoping to kind of keep it that way moving forward. And then there's our iron mine right now. Now, and other things that I've done, I actually went and deleted my logging line that we had. So currently we don't have a logging line hooked up. The line that went around the entire mountain in the back over here as a balloon, that's all been deleted. And off camera, that was off camera. And then, furthermore, I actually went and started a, well, a bit of a rail yard, as you guys can see. So I'm kind of trying to go on the level of what we had on the Railroads Online original map. This yard's pretty long. It's not as wide as the other one, and it's not finished. But we're going to use it as part of our main line as well, too. So we got a double crossover there, and one mirroring at the other end. So yeah, our whole schmeal is kind of messed up at the moment. Another thing too, if I go over here and pop on down, you guys will notice that the main line here is actually pretty high up, and to the point where it kind of floats off the ground a little bit, which I'm not too concerned about. I can go back through and add more ballast later. But the reason I had to do that is I had to level the yard here, and if we go down a ways, actually I'll go to the other end because I want to place telegraph offices. You guys can see why. It's quite literally because the ground changes much more height than I originally thought of, or thought it would. And actually, one of the very first versions of building this yard, my rails were quite literally in the mud. They were still drivable, but they were in the mud, and I didn't really like how that looked. So this was kind of the nice way of doing it. So it does get a little overgrown at the one end of the yard, which I think is kind of cool, to be honest. And then as we go further down, you guys will see that the natural ground will go down. But yeah, if you ever plan on building a yard like this in this sort of area of the map, it's make sure you take into account the subtle height differences depending on how big your yard is. Because you can see, like, there's a big dip here, but it goes right up to the rails over here. So yeah, good times. Probably not gonna really work on the yards just yet. Main goal tonight is to actually go and finish the iron mine line, or at least get it somewhere. As you guys can see, I also tore up part of the logging line again. There's the Zumbas down there, and yeah, we're gonna reorganize a few things out here, including the logging line and such. So we'll see how that goes. I may install like a weird sort of double track crossover switch system for cordwood, because I wanted the cordwood to immediately tie into the main line, obviously, because it goes to other places. But the logging line can still be isolated, because really the only place it needs to go is the sawmill. So aside from that, yeah, we got some work to do. I'm hopefully not going to be moving the logging camp, because I really don't really want to rebuild this. I may at some point. I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon. If I can refrain from rebuilding a few things, then I will. But it all depends on how well that kind of integrates to each other. And then over by our freight depot, I actually went and placed the last third freight depot over here at the start, and I don't plan on using this one. I actually have two other freight depots that are next to each other that are the ones that I'm going to be using for deliveries. So this one's more just decoration. I can use it if I really want to. And then we got our Glenbrook here, which is patiently waiting to be used again, as we have no money. So once we get some industries rehooked up, we will handle that. But with that said, we're gonna go back to our iron line route, and that route on the map at least goes south here and around the cliff sides all the way over here. So I'm hoping by the time we can get down here, we'll be on a good level to use here. So I'm hoping we can kind of install some sort of junction or crossing that we can use for both the smelter and a connection to the sawmill. I don't know how the sawmill is going to look, because I've actually kind of really kind of torn back on what I had intended for this, because I have 3 tracks here, as you guys can see, and I was kind of thinking in a way that I might end up doing a double line through here, which would be interesting in a way, but I'm not entirely sure how I like that idea. So I may just do some sort of tie-in, like single track line for the logs and a single track line for the lumber and beams, and maybe bottleneck the double main line somewhere else. So we'll see how that goes. But as for right now, again, we're going to be working on the iron mine. So let's pop back up here. Kind of show you guys on the ground what this looks like. Nothing too fantastic just yet. We got everything properly cleared, and there's definitely a nice wide curve going in and out, so we won't have any issues for loading or unloading. I will be installing additional tracks in here too, because I do want to have a switch off of one of these sections here coming into the area, and I think it's going to end up off of one of these straights here. So we'll do that and basically make it a nice little transition for a small yard of sorts. It's going to end up being, I think, a point-to-point yard. Although I could use the old turntable method that we had on our Derp, our Railroads Online original map at the Iron Mine, where basically you get to the end of the area and there's a turntable where you can use to turn around in a tight space. So might end up using that method. We'll see. But yeah, our double track here is looking really nice though. I'm very happy with how this has turned out so far. I may go and install more ballast too here, or something. I don't know if I'll do anything like prop wise up on these either, but we will see. We got some nice wooden bridges, and it's gonna take us a minute just to get down to where we need to go. Although I guess I could just pull out an industry and fly, because that's a thing. So why don't we do that? Let's save some time here. Although I do need to clear some of these trees, so let's get these out of the way. I want to make sure that I clear these trees kind of as I'm building, and not like after the fact where they become an issue. Okay, that one actually did it. I hate it when they don't like move at all when you cut them, and so they just kind of end up being weird. They run so clean together. If you're talking about these two lines, then yeah, we'll be continuing the same method that we've used previously in building to handle the rest of the line. It's not too bad of a method once you understand what it is. And it does have a nice clean look. It's not 100% perfect. But yeah, you guys will see. But welcome on into the stream, everybody. Hope everybody's had a fun week so far. Was I live on Monday? I think I was live on Monday. I don't remember. But yeah, hope you all have had a wonderful week so far. Can't wait for tomorrow to be Friday and the weekend. Love my weekends. Although this weekend I'll be hands tied helping my parents with their craft show, as we'll be in Algonquin, Ohio this weekend for a huge show. As long as you don't look too close, they're perfect. I mean, if we pull out an industry and I just hover over them, you guys can see like that the curves are damn near perfect. There are some instances where just natural spline curving is just not what it should be, but there's like very few and far in between, so it's not too much of an issue. Pop back over here. The only part that I don't really like is that bridge there, but we'll hopefully fix something better for that. We'll see. Just want to get this line built. Anyway, here we are. So this method does use the 90-degree crossovers, and that really is there to control the exact spacing between things. Actually, I really should have just popped back up there. I will maybe make an actual platform to get it back up and down here. Anyway, what should I use? I think I'll go with the bridges here. Bridge 2. We need a sky refinery. I'm not putting a refinery in the sky. What is wrong with you people? I don't remember. Was I using old? I think I was using old. I need to demolish these two. Actually, how do I feel about this? I don't really use these that often, and I don't feel like they fit here, so I'm not going to use them. Let's go back to the bridges. Old, I think is the one I like. Oh no, nope. It might have been Creaset. Yeah, Creaset's the one I like. Okay, so I want to go. Nope. Love this UI. Smile. Alright, so we're gonna go back down to our like 0.5% here. And I tend to try and work at like 30 to 40 meters at a time. And I want to definitely curve. Oops, that is wrong buttons there. Yeah, I want to curve here. Do 110 at 30 meters. Let's just see where this kind of points us. I'm hoping that it just points us in the right direction here. And I think it did. Yeah, alright. So yeah, the reason I get these structures so nicely together is I go and place a 90-degree crossover and another one here. And then I use that as a snapping point, and I'll just let the game realign the rest. So I will snap creosote, and I'll take it out of snapping mode, or circle mode. Incline goes up. Oh, crap. Thank you. I don't want to, definitely do not want to be going up. I want to be going down. Let's not do that. Yeah, okay. 3. -5. -0.5% at 30 meters. There we go. I was about to start the stream off with a bad choice. Alright, so yeah, as I was saying, I'm using the 90-degree crossovers to kind of do the dirty work here on keeping the double track aligned properly. Look at that. Beautiful. Oops, except for the fact that I fell through. Up. Alright, let's get rid of you guys. And then you kind of just have to demolish the crossovers, obviously, as you go. I'm gonna widen this up to about 300, I think. I still want to try and have a curve here. Let's see. I don't need to go like this far. Oh yeah, this is an issue. I'm still definitely not low enough. And I really hate like pointing myself towards the edge of the map because the edge of the map is just ugly. Oh, and I'm actually on the border right here too, which makes things so much better. The only reason that trick works, Buzz, is if the trick only really works well if you're like 40 meters and under most of the time. I try to keep it to like 30 just because 30 is a nice number for some reason. Alright, we made that to 1%. A bad feeling that I'm not going to get nearly as low as I need to be. But we'll keep going. We'll see where things kind of end up. If I don't have to build like another ridiculously tall bridge, that'd be fantastic. But I don't think a 1% is going to be noticeable. Actually, should have done 2%. I probably would have been down on the ground by now. Alright, sorry. Interrupted there for a second. Alright, yeah, so let's try and keep going down here. Yeah, we're just gonna try and keep this nice and cozy here. I really don't want... I don't want to resort to like a 2%. 2% like all of a sudden is kind of drastic. Let's go 40 meters on this. You know what? Hold on. Alright, let's take a look above here. Is there any way that I can maybe lower this more gradually? I don't really want to do like a drastic turn off and then come back around that way. What you call drastic, I call mystery grade. Nice. World borders are a pain here. Also, look how terrible that. I hope they like really work on this. This just looks awful here on the edge of the map. Yeah, you know what? I might... Let's back this up a little bit. I might try and branch out over this way and then come back over, rather than trying to come straight across. It won't get me much, but it should give me enough, I'm hoping. So we'll demolish this and this. And I might even... I don't know if I want to say if I'll... I don't think I can shorten this. I think this is all one piece right here. But you know what? Yeah, we'll go and take that out there. So let's grab this. Trying to get my snap here. Alright, I want to go 52. I want to go 52 for 30 meters. A little bit of a more interesting turn there. Alright, and then let's grab the stone wall again. Turn off circle mode. Yeah, alright, so see, this is exactly what I was saying earlier, that sometimes the curves are just way too awkward for the game to kind of properly correct this. So I may have to bring this out 40 meters just to have it look right. We'll see. Hold on. So we'll go 40 meters. Try from the other side. That is also another thought too. Oh, land it. There you go. Oops. Come on. All right, that looks okay. Let's just try that again real quick. I don't know if it really makes too much of a difference, but we'll see. Oh, I guess it did make a difference. Yeah, that definitely looks a lot better there. The grades, though, are not even. That's fine. It can vary a little bit. Away, tree. Alright, so we got our turnout here. And I'll take the section here. Try and work our way just a little bit more. I'm trying to buy us as much ground as possible here. And see what else we can get away with too. So let's back this to 40 meters. 40 meters just generally has to be our maximum here. Alright, so back to 40 meters here. Bingo. Also, hello to everybody joining the stream. Welcome on in. Alright, so we're gonna grab this. And that looks pretty good right there. Making a pretty interesting S-curve there, which I'm hoping won't be an issue in the future. But we shall see. Alright, so let's kind of take this. I'll go 30 meters on this, I think. There. Hope everybody's been having a good week. Alright, so let's try and do 70 seems to be about right. Also, I know I did these all out of stone walls. It probably wasn't my best move. Could have very easily have done these at one of the bridges and probably would have looked better. Alright, yeah, I think that's gonna... It should come out fine, I think. Do another 40 meters here. Ultimately, I think I can get away with just breaking and replacing these if I really want to. But that also depends on whether or not we like what we build too. So we'll get there. Snap. There we go. So far, so good, though. I actually kind of like to do a helix. Although I think doing a helix for the iron mine would be pretty interesting. I don't know how we would get away with it though, because we can't really build like we used to be able to. But then again, I mean, with enough groundwork, if we make it look nice, it would actually be somewhat presentable. Don't know if I want to resort to doing a helix, though. We'll see. Alright, back to another 40 meters. Alright. Wait, trees. Oh, that was not the side I wanted to snap off onto. Thank you. A 5% helix would be very wide, yes. That is, that would be a true statement. My concern, though, right now at the moment is whether or not steel bridges would reach down far enough to where we need them to kind of do such a thing. So let's get back up here. I feel bad for kind of getting rid of the trees right now because I'm not entirely sure if I want this line here, but I also need them like out of my way. Ugh. Okay. Oh, the bridges will reach there. That looks like they're just barely the right height. Alright, so back up there. Alright, I'm gonna go 52 on this. 30 meters. And then I want to go the opposite direction here. Oh, I'm also doing this the very slow way. It's like, why is this taking forever? Let's zero out here. And then do a turn. I want to see where our world border is. Okay, yeah, so... Whoa. It'd have to be like something like this, pretty much. Yeah, that's... That's gonna end up being way too high for steel. Although I don't know if we'd actually need to do a helix. I don't know if we'd actually need to do that. Also, I want to try something here because I've kind of just been doing the one side line here for a second. And can I? You used to be able to like layer overlay snapping. But you know what? We can also do this, because this is a trick. Alright, so I want to do the other side in here. God, this is annoying. There we go. Oh, I kind of have to build... I need to build a temporary bridge real quick. Actually be able to build a real one. Alright, that's not too terrible. Now, time for the fun part. Which is essentially roughing out what would be... Let's just do something ridiculous like this. I don't know if this is gonna work the way I want it to, but give it a go. Kind of worked. Although, the trestle still seems like it's in the ground. I don't know why it was having such an issue then. Maybe I was doing something weird. Alright, so let's widen that, obviously. As wide as we can. Let's just be 140 just to be safe. History. That's gonna be a high bridge. Alright, crossovers. Let's see how nicely this plays. Oh crap, I gotta get rid of this one. Forget about that. Whoops. Wrong thing. It snapped. Must be doing something right. And we fell. No. Crap. Just need to stop falling. Alright, let's go another 40 meters. Alright, that didn't let us place for some reason. Let's try that again. No? Why are you not letting us... Oh, you placed there. Oh, getting very close to the border, though. I feel like as long as we can kind of just walk on the track and not hit that border, we should be okay. I don't imagine it being too much of an issue. Go on. Alright, once again. There's the snap. Go 40 more meters. Alright, yeah, you're not placing again. Why are you not placing again? I must be hitting like some weird low spot right here. Let's try that. Might just end up being like just a hair yeah, a hair too shallow or something. Yeah, because look, all the steel looks like it's literally in the ground. I don't know why it's having such a weird time with us placing it. Yeah, that also probably, that's what I was thinking, was that the range of the hitbox of the bridge is just a hair shorter. Which I get, because obviously they want the bridges to look like they're properly in the ground more than anything. Which is fine, that's understandable. It's just, it's annoying seeing that, like, something's placing, but it just, like, it won't place unless you have additional groundwork there. Which, we can clean this up, too, and make it look better, too. So, it really shouldn't be an issue. We have a ways to go. I actually don't even remember what angle we are set at here. I'm gonna do myself a favor and save real quick. Because that's always a helpful thing to do. Especially when I don't have autosave on or anything like that. So let's... We're kind of away from the border here. So I'm kind of thinking, why don't we re-straighten out here for a little bit. Let's just get a 40-meter straight here. Hello, Jack. We're still getting close to the world border here, as you can see on the map. Did not think we would get this close. Will the train hit the border or pass through? I actually don't know. I would assume, knowing the wonderful quality of this game, that the engine would in fact hit the border. That's what I would assume. That'd be the safe bet on trying to figure out what happens. As to what actually happens, I have no idea. Honestly, it would not surprise me if the game was as broken to allow the engine through the border, but not the player. And so, you know, once you as a player drive the engine to somewhere that shouldn't be, it then becomes an issue. Hello, everybody. This is a 110 turn, really? Oh, okay. just like trying to figure out where this is gonna end up. Because if I can figure that out, roughly... This is what I hate about the circle mode here. Whoops. Yeah, you know what? We'll keep it at 110. We'll do a few different sections here. It's gonna look a little ridiculous having this huge, just like, curved loop here. Although we're not doing the helix if, you know, we can avoid it. Although it probably would help. Let's do... You know what? We are kind of wide on these turns, so I might just do like a 50. Let's try this. I don't know how well the game is gonna render the other rail at this range here. So let's just try it. We know that we want the 110 angle, obviously, so I don't really see it being an issue. Yeah, I think it handled fine. Alright, cool. So we can just do like 3 more sections. With the flying player, if you keep clicking the spacebar, you get to a point where you are over the height border and can't get back down unless you TP back. That makes sense. And again, does not surprise me. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere out there in the world, the game world, the spawn shop is there. Or the buy menu shop is there somewhere. Oh wow, that actually went through the water. Nice. Back up there. This is going very, very nicely, and I'm happy about that. Now we're getting back to like a reasonable height on the side of a mountain. Alright, now that we're at this point here, we can try and make a tighter turn. If I can get a hitbox for this stone wall. Hello, game? Oh, there you go. Ah, I got rid of it. I got a snap point for a second. See if I can get it again. There. Yeah, it was just like, it was almost too high for the wall there. Alright, I need this to be as wide as possible. Alright, that seems to work. As we're going tighter all of a sudden, we're going to shorten this down to 30 meters. Yeah, it's still too high for this. Alright, we'll do a little bit more bridge here. Ah, I didn't mean the right click, I wanted the left click. Stupid me. Do this again for the 30th time. There we go. Yeah, I ended it just a hair too early. Oh well. Close enough for government work. That's gonna be a baller route to ride. I, like, genuinely, like, this is gonna be a long route, but I don't care. It's gonna be a nice one. It's gonna be so nice to ride up and down on this. Yeah, so we'll kind of fly over real quick and show you guys. I mean, we started over there, and we've only been, I mean, we went for an hour already, which is scary. So we started over there, and then kind of awkwardly re-bent our way over here. It does kind of look terrible, but at the same time, it's like, I don't really care, because it's not supposed to be perfect. Still don't know if I'm gonna be at a decent height. Oh, missed it. Right, because this makes your whole railroad feel like one big disaster. It's fine. I've already deleted one line that I already built on this map already, so this one, who knows how long this one will last. We'll see. I'm not making any promises. Kind of like trying to even this out, because I know I gotta turn here. Alright, let's grab some bridges. Creosote. I think I just generally always use creosote. There's nothing better, to be honest. I'm gonna go as tight as possible on this. Which means going to 52 here. won't look too bad. Yeah, the game... I'm trying to refrain from getting into any, like, heated topics, if you will, about the game and how terrible it is. Yeah, it's... I'm not surprised that people are getting to, like, certain points of building this, like, on this map and then thinking, it's like, well, it's kind of just been the same thing. It's just now we have a nice way of reorganizing the industries. And that's just painful. 52 is my limit. What's going on here? Something weird just happened there. Yeah, no, as I was saying, 52 meters tends to be my limit. And I'm going off of memory of what I believe is a 30-degree turn. I believe is 52 meters or close to it. Please do not quote me on it. I really do not know it to be exact. I really wish Railroader releases soon. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how Railroader does. Keep hitting all the wrong buttons. There we go. That's... Don't fall. Falling is not what I wanted to do. Why can I not get a snap point on this? The hell? Come on, I really want a wooden bridge here. Why are you not snapping? What do I have to do to get a snap? This really shouldn't be... Oh, unless it thinks it's way too high for some reason. You know what? That might be the case, because it does get a little higher here. Oh, yeah. No, that's definitely the case right here. Okay, hold on. That would be why. So we're just gonna place one of these bad boys. Like that. I didn't think it was that high, but apparently I was wrong. Well, it still does not want to place. Let's just bring this over on circle mode for giggles. Yeah, it still thinks it's not. That should be more than enough for this. Oh, come on. Please don't tell me this would snap the other way. Yeah, it snaps the other way. It doesn't want to snap the way I need it. Why? I genuinely do not understand why this is being such a pain. I don't want to go back to steel if I don't have to. Just gonna awkwardly have these bridges here. Yeah, because that makes sense right there. It's probably no surprise that it is some sort of weird bug. Groundwork. %30 is 58.9. Okay, so I'm less than 30% on some. Well, you know what? That's fine. Oh, even the stone wall is not... I guess we gotta stick with this wooden bridge for a second. I'm gonna go 30 meters here. kind of want to turn out and try and come down in a giant helix, but can we pull that off? Let me fly. I was kind of hoping to be down all the way out here. But I have a feeling at this rate, I may not only get down until, like, out here somewhere. Which, honestly, might not be the biggest deal in the world, because I could probably land a decent junction out here. Something that would be able to handle... Oh, you know what? Hold on. There's the... That's the ironwork. No. Yeah, that's the ironworks. That's the smelter. Why do I have these so close together? Well, Buzz, I mean, as you can see in circle mode, they have 30-meter radius turns. The old rule of thumb was that you didn't want to go any more than 30, or anything tighter than 30 degrees, which in circle mode is 59 meters. But that's more concerned for like the bigger engines, like your 260, your 280s, stuff like the Porter has no problem with those. Because the Porters can turn around on ridiculously tight turns. Or tight curves. I might want to go around the other side of that hill. Yeah, I'm thinking about just following this hill, because I'm not really going to be using it for anything. So might as well kind of make use of it. And I'm thinking that... See, I want a direct connection with the... sawmill. And I want a direct connection with the main line. Oh, this is so hard to figure out. I know more than anything that I want I want to have my mines be like the lowest percentage grade possible. So like the 0.5% for the iron mine, and then probably going to try the same for the coal mine. I'm actually thinking, speaking of which, my coal mine's actually on the other side of the map. Which is nice. Because my coal mine, if I fly out all the way over here, should be around here somewhere. Is it in here? Yeah, it's in here. So it's in this, like, valley plateau area with ridiculously flat spots of land here. And that's because I do want to do another ridiculous run at some point with something stupid like 250 hoppers called the EBT run. But this is where my coal mine's placed currently. And I know I can make that work. It's just going to be a long track for a 0.5. Actually, I believe that my iron mine is higher than my coal mine is. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. See, I really thought I didn't have that far to go with a 5% or 0.5% grade here. When I started this, I actually thought I was getting some decent distance. But it's so hard to tell what the terrain is out here. Wonder how much you could pull before the game says no. I've heard different things about records. My personal record, Buzzing Gamer, is 100 loaded hopper cars of coal, going from the coal mine on the old map to our large yard in the center of the map, just west of the freight depot. Yeah, that was 100 cars with a C70 and a caboose. I do want to break that record, although I feel like I've heard other records being just as much, if not bigger. For some reason, I feel like somebody's told me that somebody's done like 500 cars before. But just to put that in perspective, like hauling 100. Granted, this was a while ago. This was like almost a year ago I did this. And there is a live stream for those that are interested in watching it again. Which I believe I called the 100 hopper car challenge. Yeah, performance kind of takes a toll the more cars you own on a map. So yeah, hauling that much or simply moving that much rolling stock takes quite a bit of a strong PC. And even mine, which is fairly decently strong, all things considered, was still kind of struggling. So we were getting an average of about 5 to 7 FPS full sending it down a hill with 100 hopper cars. So that was on the old spline system, on the original Railroads Online map. So performance may be different doing it on a brand new map like this one with all new building type deal. But those were all the original black hopper cars that we used then. Can I use bridges? I do not apologize for my singing, by the way, guys. I hope you all understand that. Yeah. Well, next time we do a challenge like that, we'll definitely up the ante. Might even consider having an ante. Alright, I want to go wider. Ooh, 910. Oops. Oh, that is straightforward right there. Okay. Alright, Since we're doing a straightforward piece, we'll just go something like 90 meters. Up. Very early on, though, when I first started playing the game, not long after it originally released, I think it was during the first winter season that the game had, I was doing something ridiculous like 24 to 48 cordwood cars on like a 2%. It might have been 24, but back then, even like moving that was horrible. Oops, I accidentally jumped. Stonewall. Oh my gosh, are we ever gonna get down to the ground? You know what, for giggles, let's just see how much further do I have to go to get down to the ground on a 0.5%. Because I may honestly just have to give up at some point and do like a 2%. Because I thought I would have been down by now, but even doing this at a negative 2% here, it's still going to take me a while. I don't want to redo a whole bunch of building. Oh, but you know what? I do have like all this space over here that I just forgot about. Okay, hold on. I'm way overreacting here. It probably would have been a lot better of a consistent 1% from the start. But I've never done a line with a 0.5% like this. So I'm kind of committed a little bit. As painful as that is. You know what? I'll just use a normal bridge. Although I guess in hindsight, I probably could have calculated even what the how many meters I would have had to have gone to properly get down as far as I need to. I might also just end up having to do some building off camera. Just so you guys don't have to suffer through this whole thing. Although, then again, I don't know how many of you all really kind of enjoy building streams. This is not Kitsun's beam run to the coal mine that wraps around almost the entire map, but the industry's pretty similar to me. Yikes. I don't know. So I'm kind of like in between two different vibes here, right? Because my first playthrough experience with the game, I had somebody else that was building the map for us. And we set a rule to not do anything more than a 2%, which was very doable on the original map. However, we also double-tracked everything. So now I'm kind of going back and doing, like, more natural lay of the land like the original Railroads Online map was, but also trying to maybe welcome in a double track system to be much more friendly. I also just remembered, because I'm a terrible, that I have to get up and do something real quick. So I will BRB. I'm going to be gone for like 2 or 3 minutes. With that said, if you guys have been a part of the stream since the beginning, I do recommend, or if you've been here for a while, I do recommend getting up, stretching, grabbing yourself a snack. We have been streaming for a little bit here. So if you've been sitting a while like I have, not a bad idea to kind of get up, stretch your legs, go to the bathroom if you need to. And I will be back in a few minutes, guys. So BRB, I gotta go close the run for the chickens and ducks. Quack. Alright. Sorry about that. I'm back. Hashtag Superbridge. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, yeah. I had to go put the ducks and chickens in the coop. So we shall keep building. And of course, Jack says they're here for the cozy vibes. Well, I appreciate that, Jack. Hope you all do not mind the cozy vibes. Wouldn't be the first time somebody's honestly have said that they've enjoyed my stream more for the vibe than the game that I've been playing. Alright, going 30 meters. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have something a little bit different for you guys on stream. Won't be a new game entirely, but a new environment for that game, if that makes sense. If you know, you know. If not, then stay tuned, I guess. I'm gonna go 40 meters right on the dot for this one here. Although actually, for tomorrow's stream, I may go to my Twitch for the first time in a while. So we'll see how that goes. It all depends. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I just gotta widen on this curve here. Yeah, you know what? Stone wall seems to be fine for this. And the longer distance isn't a problem because it's a wider angle for this trick. Gosh, look at all the flat land down there. It's almost like they wanted us to place an industry there. Let's go bridges. Alright, we can definitely go a lot tighter on this. Not that tight. Let's see how this handles at 80 meters in length. I'm not entirely sure how well that's gonna render. Oh wow, that actually handled really well. Very happy with that. Very, very happy with that. Demolish this. Yeah, let's Pyro, let's not get started in that dilemma of a conversation. I guess we could have widened up a little bit here. It's like, I want to leave that rock there, but at the same time, I probably shouldn't, because it's probably going to derail me. If we had props that were rocks, that'd be cool. I don't think we do. Let's go back to the stone walls here. No prop rock for us or vegetation. Yeah. It'd be nice to have trees that we can put back. Especially different kind of trees. Oh, wow. Music. It did not repeat. Hold on 1 second, guys. There we go. I think by the time we get over there, we should be down on the ground. Hopefully. You know what? Let's do a different bridge here. Different color, at least. Let's go fireproof red. Yeah, imagine placing a tree. That's not bad. Now let's see if this plays nicely going back. Yeah, that would, I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess to be fair, placing props does increase the file size, obviously, because the game needs to remember where the prop is. Okay, I seem to be stuck on my bridge here. Like, I'm tired of looking at these pine trees, that's for sure. I love how you can log, quote unquote, a rock, and you get the tree sound effect, because that makes sense. Yeah, well, I mean, like most things right now for this game, I am not holding my breath. You know, if we get something nice, we get something nice, hooray. Everything else, as far as I'm concerned, is less than par standard. But that is just my opinion. You guys are all welcome to have your own, of course. Oh my gosh. Let me think about this. Yeah, there's no reason for me to loop all the way back in here for any reason. Especially when I feel like I'm actually close to the ground now. I feel like coming out and over here would be good enough. Yeah, what are standards? Yeah, this game has no standards. It only doesn't have a standard gauge. Thank God for that, because I'm sure they'd ruin it too. Okay, you know what? I still have the bad feeling that even if I go out over there, I'm still not going to go low enough. So we're gonna cut the turn short. Just so we can bend out in the other direction. Or at least try to. Nope, I don't think I can get away with that. Hello. Welcome back to our railroad building streams. It's been a long time since I've done any, like, large amount of building. I'm sure people also have already, like, completed their own version of this map, too. Which wouldn't surprise me. By any means. Yeah, there's no way, really, for me to come about this without, like, all of a sudden jutting out. Into, like, a ridiculous turn here, so... Enjoy the rest of your night, Buzz. How do I decide what's a good curve radius? Inside curve or outside curve when you're doing double track? So like the way that I do it is I just kind of keep in mind what my tightest curve will be and try to make sure that my inside curve is not going to hit that. So for like this, I want to take a really tight turn here. Well, as tight as I possibly can, which actually really isn't enough, so to speak. But I can go like 20 meters out on this 60 meter radius turn, which will get me in a good spot here. Which is a 60 meter radius turn is the equivalent of a 30-degree turn, which is about the tightest you can kind of really take most engines in this game. Then I place my double crossovers, snap back on the other side, get out of circle mode, and snap to the other track, and it performs the best that it can in calculating the second curve. Now, sometimes it doesn't open up as much as that does in the middle there, but there's not really too much that I can do about it at the moment. Really, there's a second tree. The doubling on trees is really just like, why? That one doesn't want to come off. Okay. Anyway. Yes. A 60 meter radius curve is the tightest you can take at speed. That is true. Probably. It's gonna be a ridiculously long line, and I should have considered that when I said, oh yeah, 0.5 meters shouldn't be an issue. Or 0.5% grade shouldn't be an issue. I mean, to be fair, it's going... driving this line... and actually, I can save real quick before I pop up here and show you guys just how long this line is now. If we go back and continue, pop open an industry. So this is where we're at right now. And if I open up my map, there's our iron mine. So we have gone all the way around the outer edge here, basically, just to get down to the smelter and or the sawmill. So actually, by the time I get back over here, I might actually be able to connect to the tail end of my yard. Which would be a little ridiculous, but funny nonetheless. And I think I might end up doing the same for the coal mine at some point. I don't know how I'm going to approach that. That one actually might be harder than the other, or this one. But yeah, if we take a quick little fly around here, you guys can see the damage that we've done. And most of it actually doesn't look bad at all. It's a really great looking double track minus the industry that we have flying through here. The only part that I do not like is the girder bridge here, or this trestle, whatever you want to call it. It's actually really the only option I had, because the ground is just not high enough. But we can go back and fix that too. And this still wanders around here alongside the mountain. And there's some spots that will have to be patched up for detailing, which I will get to. It's just a matter of laying the line. And then here we are. Here's our iron mine, the oil field in the way. So this essentially is just one giant balloon loop at the moment. And this is kind of the feel that I'm trying to go for my map, because after playing the Railroads Online original map, I really wanted to have, I really liked like the long trips that you took on that map. But at the same time, like, I also want the open freedom to double track anywhere that I can, just so we can have multiple trains running. And it'd be cool just to have a long train running on, going up on one side and down on the other type deal. Yeah, well, this is a new map too. This came out on the anniversary, so the beginning of the month in October. Where are one of those trails? I hate the board. I really hope that they fix this border issue. But yeah, this path here, they're trying, I guess, trying to add a little life to the map by doing this, and I'm not entirely for it. It's just, it's so random, and I guess they're just trying to see if players would build on them with the new props, which is something fun that you can do. But yeah, I think we're gonna work our way back into here and then kind of loop back out and hopefully come out on ground level around here. Oh, is that gonna be? No, that won't be an issue. Anywho. Yeah, I think that's what they were trying to hint at people doing, was building towns around those paths. Which is fine and all that. People will probably do that. Yeah, the path is just so ugly. Actually, I have to say that a lot of the terrain on this map is just ugly because of just how it's not friendly for anything. Like, I think that the quote-unquote developers, that they like to call themselves, had in mind something entirely different for this map than what people have been using it for. And to me, it just, this map is not really user-friendly. There's a lot more that should have been done for this map. And I will still say that this map should not have come out to begin with. But here we are. Try not to rant too much on the game right now. That curve looks okay. So I'm just kind of trying to curve this back towards the hillside as tight as possible. And obviously we can only do so much. I might do 10 meters. Can I get 10 meters? I don't know what 10 meters is going to get me. Why can I not get below like 12? Or I'm trying to like look in whatever direction it wants me to look. Nine. Oh, come on. Oh, 10-1. We'll take it. I just wanted a short distance. Yeah, that's perfect. Right there. 10-1. We will take it now. Hopefully the auto generation on this doesn't suck. And it seems alright. Okay. So now we can try and straighten this out. The old map is flawed in many ways, but you feel it was purpose built for this game. This one isn't. Yeah, that's honestly that's an entire mood right there. And I'll kind of stand by that too. Mainly because when that map was built, it was only QMA. There was nobody, as far as I'm aware, there was nobody else on the team at the time. And QMA built that map with the industries on it, and that's how the game was. This one, the main problem with this map is they did not release it with industries pre-placed. They designed this map, loosely using the word designed, or rather nicely, I should say. They made this map thinking that players would love the option to place down their own industries where they wanted. And in fairness, that is a nice creative freedom to give people. However, how they did it is just wrong. Because what they ended up doing when this update came out is they released this map, and then they said, oh, by the way, there are no industries on this map. You place the industries where you want them. But what you have then is people that are kind of split into two groups. You have people that just want to get in and basically have to build only to the industries, like they're used to. Like everybody's used to in this game. You have to start out building and connecting to the industries, starting with the logging camp. But then you have people that are like, oh yay, we get to place the industries wherever we want, however many we want, up to 3. And that makes it, either challenging or easy for the player. But there were a lot of people that really just didn't want to go through the process of having to place their own industries, and found it very aggravating, like myself, because I spent like almost nearly 2 hours just finding one spot that was good enough, that looked right for the iron mine. You really shouldn't have to do that. So they did something that they thought would be a huge thing, and they did it without taking any kind of real community feedback to it, or really getting a feel for what the community actually wants. Because in their defense, they claim to have seen a lot of people, doing these moved industry maps, much like you would do with one of the third-party development tools. And they thought that that's what everyone wants. They want everyone to have the freedom to place their own industries. But in reality, what they should have done is just have an official map designed with the industries in mind, and then furthermore give the players the options to either have a second version of the map that was blank, like this one was, or just let them load into those officially made map and delete the industries and place them where they want to, if they have that desire to do so. Yeah, it's just... And that's not even getting into the problems with the industry models, too. Because if you guys look at, like, the sawmill, it doesn't come with a pond. It literally only comes with the ramp and whatever wooden platform, and that's that. Like, I could place this, and there's no pond. So, it really is just, like... They ended up adding, like, the platforms here, and that's fine. Like, the stone foundations. The industries, like the iron mine, definitely needed that. Which made placing the iron mine a lot easier. But there's just... Yeah, it's so bad. In my opinion. It could have been way better. It could have been done so much better. But, here we are. Just a bunch of cozy derps. Either way, we'll play with the map, have some fun with it, and you know, we'll see what happens. There are other reasoning, by the way, too, which I forgot to mention for their way of doing this, was they were kind of future-proofing in a way. Because there's been a conversation in the past, even back when I was community manager and a part of the development team, there were a lot of conversations about adding new industries or creating a new map, and it was just something that, like, the game was never ready to have, or, you know, the stage to be at. So it really came down to them, you know, thinking, oh, this is, you know, a good idea is to have the players place their own industries, and then, you know, whenever time is ready for us to add new industries, you know, we'll just give them the option to place those industries and not actually do anything else. But, I mean, the other half to that logic also was that they weren't then worried about a new industry spawning on a map after an update, and ruining a player's, you know, a player's railroad. So, you know, it's got its positives and negatives, but again, it's something that could have been handled so much better. And not to mention that even with a new map, there should have been new industries with the map, because we're still using the same crap. It's getting stale. It's just, it really is getting stale at this point with going to the same, you know, 5, 6, 7 industries. There's so much more that could have been thought out better. But nope, here we are. We're actually going to use normal rail for once. But I'm done with that rant. Please don't ask me any more questions about this wonderful game. The next time we do like a game update stream, y'all can nail me with whatever opinions that I have or questions about whatever I think about. And I'll gladly answer them. I don't care. You know, I'll always give you guys my honest opinion about this game's development and direction. Because it's definitely not what, you know, what I was trying to say back as a community manager. Or at least trying to keep the game going in the right direction. I went 110 meters there. Leg Dig saying that the only game like this currently right now is Loco Shortline Operations. Yes, it is not strictly standard gauge though. Loco does in fact have narrow gauge in it. The kind of weird issue with Loco Shortline Operations is... Alright, let me put this... Loco is a wonderful game. It is a very wonderful gem of a game. The thing that really kind of suffers for the game, in my opinion, is visual. Like, the game is not the greatest, visually, it's not the greatest sounding. There's a lot of very nice immersion work that could be done for that game to make it so much better. Now, on the other hand, the gameplay, the quality of life, that game has so much of that. It's not even funny. There are so many simple things in that game that something like Railroads Online like drastically suffers from not having. And that's where Loco kind of shines in that department. On top of having realistic, well, not realistic, I shouldn't say that, but having gravity-based freight, meaning that like when you derail, your freight's falling off your car and it's going on the ground and it's going however far it goes. Now the cool thing is you can go and pick up that freight if you have like a crane, which is always fun to mess around with. But yeah, it's a beautiful game. But like Railroads Online, it does have its bugs and its shortcomings and all that fun stuff. Now, it does seem like there are a number of other games coming that are going to be much in the similar nature of what we have here. But we'll kind of see where that goes. Highball looks to be like one of them. But that is going to be standard gauge, I believe. And we have Century Steam on the rise as well, which will be narrow gauge. Yeah, the cranes in Loco need some work, for sure. But it does, honestly, it's a lot of fun just being able to kind of pull up with a crane and, re-rail locomotive in that game. Like that's gameplay content that I never realized that like I would have enjoyed, or like rescuing your freight that way. It's just something that you didn't really expect. Highball? Yes, Highball is another name you'll find floating around a few different Discords. Speaking of Discord, my Discord server, there's a link for it in the description down below. And once you are a part of my Discord, there is a channel called Info. And the Info channel has additional Discord links for other servers that you guys can join. And one of them is for Highball. Highball is a standard gauge logging simulator game, much like Railroads Online. Hopefully it will be better than Railroads Online. But all they have really right now is just their Discord server. So if you want to follow through and keep an eye on Highball, I would recommend joining my Discord and then finding your way over to theirs. We do actually have people in my Discord that are from the Highball team as well, and they do hang out. So you guys can have fun with that. there are other titles coming up like Railroader, which I'm not setting any sort of bar for in terms of expectations. There's obviously Century of Steam, which everybody's been buzzing about. Century of Steam has a lot of former... it's almost dangerous saying that almost... I don't know everybody on the COS team. I know there's a lot of people that also are not officially recognized, or publicly recognized, I should say, not officially, because they are officially recognized as being a part of the team. But there are a lot of people involved with COS that were former Railroads Online team members as well, such as like myself, who was the Railroads Online community manager at one point or another. And I'm now working with the COS team in managing their unofficial community Discord, along with a few other people as well. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of wonderful things happening in the future that I am still excited for. Alright, we need to start looking at winding this out for... No, go away with your tutorial. We already know how to play this stupid game. Nope, I want to go just straight 0 for a minute here. Actually, you know what? Now screw that. Let's widen this out for a turn. Much wider. Or not wider, I guess. Yeah, again, Loco has its wonderful perks and charms. Joe, the developer, actually, who's in my Discord server, I've been kind of on the fence. I've been meaning to get back in touch with him. We've talked about in the past of doing a triplex of some sort in Loco. But he wants to do it as part of a stream, so I think we'll eventually get that out of the way at some point. I just have no idea when that's going to be. So, Loco Shoreline actually has a big boy model. It's not a great model, but there is one. And it's a duplex. It's a physics-based duplex steam engine that physically rides on rails in a game. And I think it's one of the very few games to actually make that claim. But I wanted Joe to do a triplex, because I think it'd be cool to have a game finally out there that does a triplex like that. And I think he could really market that out pretty well to kind of stand out from some of the other games that are out there. So yeah, we'll have to see about getting in touch with Joe again and, you know, figuring that out. The big boy wasn't enough. It wasn't that the big boy wasn't enough. The big boy's great. It's just like they don't have a proper model for it, and they won't have a proper model for this either, which is obviously expected. But the idea from this kind of just came from love of triplexes to begin with, and I would love to see you know, a physics-based train game like Loco take and do something like a triplex in a game. I think he would really be able to do it, so we'll see. If that's something you guys want to see as a stream, let me know. We're gonna end up having to do it anyway, but I don't know how interesting of a stream that will be, because I don't think I'll be doing much, as Joe will be the one doing the work for the game. I think he's planning on actually developing the triplex live on a stream. But yeah, Joe's actually talking about recently with me and I believe Sheridan about maybe actually finally receiving some support for the game. So there might be a brighter future for Loco coming at some point, but I don't think he's made really any of that insanely public knowledge. Joe doesn't really I don't think Joe live streams. But he wants me to, I guess he wants me to live stream him working on the game. So we'll see, again, we'll see how that turns out. I don't know how that's gonna go, but you know, we'll see. Also, if you guys want to see another Loco stream, let me know. I haven't touched Loco in a very long while, actually. And I think the last time I played it was me and Crusher, and we ended up making quite a mess. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to open up the world and do a community stream on Loco. And kind of just see where we get into, or what we get into. Oh, give me 30, give me 30, give me 30. 30, 30, 30. Ah, there you go. I also never finished my, I guess, let's play through of Loco either. Loco's been multiplayer as far as I've known. It's gotten dedicated server support in recent years or recent months. But yeah, as far as I've ever been aware, it's always been multiplayer. Now, of course, I could be wrong. I haven't followed Loco all that long. I guess I'm gonna have to get down here to find the 30-meter mark. If I can get 30 on this. Haha! Just saves me a trip from going down. For the Ice Cubes video. I remember that stream. It was a good stream. Oh, you know what? I might actually... I don't know. Do I keep going at the 30? I feel like I could definitely widen up a little bit here, but I don't really want to get too close to that border again. So you know what? We'll keep at the radius that we're at. back up there. That was a perfect height, too. Yeah, I haven't really messed with Floco in a good while. Depending on what happens tomorrow with some things maybe previously planned, I might do Loco tomorrow, we'll see. Kind of just a comment on that. I'm not a big train enthusiast either. Like I love trains. Don't get me wrong. Like I do model a small amount of model railroading. But as for like people getting upset over inaccuracies, the best thing that I can kind of say in that department is that there are people that you can call pretty much rivet counters, who absolutely know like every single detail about something railroading. You know, whether it be like their favorite locomotive or something that they've worked on in the past, you know, whatever, or if they've, you know, been in the industry long enough. There is, however, a great deal of frustration when you get something like Railroads Online, who has replicas of, you know, real-life engines, real-life narrow-gauge engines, but have a very bad habit of, I don't want to say brainwashing, but kind of like encouraging the community to think incorrectly about certain things. So like the best example for that recently, and this was actually, you can kind of go and find a thread for it on the Steam discussions for Railroads Online, of people complaining about the traction effort and speed of the Montezuma, as well as a few of the other engines, where you'll have people from the development team say one thing and people with actual facts say another. And a lot of the frustration comes from people that actually work with these engines, the real life not replicas, but preserved models, like the actual real thing, and saying, you know, the information from this game, which is publicly advertised as being historically accurate, which is far from the truth, causing issues with people that do the, you know, the real life restoration and history of the game, and it just causes a whole lot of aggravation for historians, who have people come into a museum and see, you know, an 8-ton porter and call it Betsy. You know, it's just one of those things where a historian will pull their hair out seeing that or hearing that, especially if they're aware of something like Railroads Online. And the same can be said about, you know, how they classify all the other engines in this game. So if I go save, yeah, before I get too sidetracked, if we go into the locomotive buy menu, and go to our engines, you have people regularly call this Betsy, not an 8-ton porter, which is what it is. It's a Type B S 8-ton porter from HK Porter and Company. That is an 040 ST. This is a saddle tank. Or you'll have people call this the Mason Bogey, which is the model. Why people... oh, sorry. Actually, let me correct that. People call this a 10 mile. You can call this the Mason Bogey. This is a bad example, though. But you'll have, the Montezuma, like up top here. It's labeled the Montezuma. The model is an 8, 1/2 C3, or 8.5 C3. The Eureka, again, the Eureka is a name of an actual engine that is this engine in real life, but it is not the classification of the name of what the engine should be called in the game. So, yeah, there's a lot of serious issues caused with this game in, like, this sort of thing, where you just have a bunch of stuff. Like the Glenbrook, there is a real-life engine, the 818D2, which is called the Glenbrook. It's for a certain railroad, narrow gauge railroad. I do not know the the actual one, but one of the previous modelers, or actually the person that did model this engine for this game, is someone that physically worked on the engine. And it was mislabeled as the Glenbrook in the game when it should have been properly labeled by its classification number, or classification. Yeah. But like you have the class 48, which is what it should have been named. The DNRG shouldn't be up here. The DNRG should be not information on the screen. But the class 48, it's a 622D. That's what it should have been called. Same with the Climax, the Heisler. Shays are Shays. You can't really get too much more into that. But there's also there's a lot of inaccuracies with the boiler pressures, the weights. The weights you can argue. I don't know the historical stuff on the weights, but like the Mosca is another name of an engine. Class 70 is a good example of what something should actually be called in this. Well, actually, no, it shouldn't even be called this. Because it's a 1026E2, but it's aggravation on like unique things. There's just there's a lot wrong with this game. There's so much. You could get into a very long rant about a lot of the things that are wrong in this game, and I'm not the right person to kind of point out everything. But there are people that actually have worked on the real things that get unbelievably frustrated with the people that call themselves not only developers but researchers for the game, that claim that this information is 100% accurate and factual when it is completely wrong. So it's okay, but Railroads Online is an accurate representation of narrow gauge railroading in the American Midwest. Smile. But again, take it as you will. There's just a lot wrong with this game in every single fashion. 818D2 engine from this US demo. That I do not know off the top of my head. I don't remember what exact engine they used in that demo. I did not play the demo. I was not there at the convention, unfortunately. I was invited to go, though. I did not, however, was able to, sadly. Pyro, you can be absolutely sure, beyond a doubt, that the team behind COS will give you a very good representation of narrow gauge railroading in the American Midwest. 100%. There's so much done right with that game that, like, I am very, very pleased and very happy to see happening. And very glad that it's being handled by the right people. Alright, like Dig, enjoy your night. Thank you so much for hanging out. They did have a 10-wheeler in the gameplay footage, which is hilarious because a lot of people in the Railroads Online community are like, hey, 10-wheeler when? Smile? I get the frustration about the model names, but to be honest, Glenbrook is a lot easier to remember than, you know, 818D2. Yes, I understand that. What I'll point out, though, is that, I guess a little fun fact about the team. Something I've heard, I guess, secondhand, from Heiss. At least I believe it was Heiss. They actually, it took some practice, but they've finally gotten it down where they're calling the locomotives that they're working on for the game by the actual classifications and not like names like Glenbrook, you know, Tweetsy, all that fun stuff, or Eureka. But yeah, it will be very interesting to see how people handle the actual classification names. I will not be surprised to see people, you know, refer to some of the engines like they have been in Railroads Online. You know, it's almost going to be guaranteed, unfortunately, that people are going to do that because there'll be a lot of people that are going to be from Railroads Online, you know, playing COS, you know, predictably. However, what should hopefully be happening is people will actually come up with proper names for those engines that they get in COS and call those engines by the names that they give them rather than the classification names. So I don't really see people referring to the engines as much by the classification names. Either they're going to refer them to by the name they give them or by whatever Railroads Online name that they think of type deal. So, yeah, I'd rather learn the classification names over anything else. But yeah, it's another thing too is I think you're going to find, hopefully, that a lot of people are going to have nice, good names for their engines in COS. Because the customization for COS is absolutely insane. Like, I can't get into details. I've seen essentially the tip of the iceberg for the customization for COS, and even that blows my mind on just how thorough it is. So I think because of the customization, a lot of people are going to end up getting attached to names of their engines for their railroad more than anything else. which is gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see that. I hope people come up with some really cool railroads out there. I'm really genuinely excited to see what people make in that game. Chesapeake's. Probably could use some water right now. Y'all have gotten me in the mood of talking about a lot of stuff. I wish I could talk more about COS. I wish I knew more too, but there's only so much that I'm allowed to know. And they, another thing too. Oh wow, we're really up against the border there. Crap. All right. Crap, I don't remember what. Yeah, all right. So as I was saying, I wish I knew more about COS. And I wish I could tell you more about what I already know, but I cannot. One of the good things though is they don't tend, like, Studio 346 does not tend to mention much of anything until it's actually, like, they're satisfied and they're ready to show it, which is very good because it genuinely means that they truly wholeheartedly want it to come to the game, or believe that it's, you know, absolutely will be in the game in that fashion. But I believe that Railroads Online basically has just another year at best before things kind of die down for them, or die out completely. Alright, I need to start taking bigger chunks here. Man, this world border sucks a lot. Like, I really want to be up against that mountain, but I can't. Yeah, the platforms for the industries kind of do their own thing. I still don't feel like I'm getting down far enough. This is one long railroad line. Kind of makes me scared to do the coal mine. Is a consolidation just any pinwheel arrangement or specifically 280? I do not know the answer to that. Sorry. This is such an unfortunately ugly hook that I've had to make. I have a DM from Dark, which only means that Dark is once again watching my stream and has not made a YouTube account. Okay, yeah. According to Dark, the consolidation was specifically 280. Thank you, Dark. And to further backpedal to another conversation we were having about the original Railroads Online map, apparently the old Heisen Company team was also part of that development. I would have loved to have stuck to that hill for the entire thing, but the hill is... The world border is quite literally right here. I can't get close to that hill. I also ran into the... Oh, okay. I was getting close to the world border over here, too. Yeah, well, like a mogul is a 260. I believe. I could also just be talking out of my ass and have no genuine idea. But, you know, it's me, so. I think I'm in enough where I can just go straight forward now. Oh, you mean the other one you turned away from with the giant rock? Yeah, couldn't really get much closer to that either. Why do I have another ad somewhere? Sorry, getting distracted by my phone. I also have to read. I want to read up on something real quick that I saw. Some sort of shit post. So please hold. Okay. Yeah, sorry, had to read up on some shit posting. John Deere boy, I think, understands where I was reading. So much for, da-da-da-da. Oh, wow. We're just gonna do a big old piece here. Wait, each time a save is loaded, the industries you place have their platforms change height. Can confirm this happens now. Huh? Really? They found another thing that they could possibly just up like that? Yeah, John Deere, are you not in the bone zone? For all the bug reports. Honestly, if y'all want to start giving me bug reports, we could have a stream testing it. I used to do that as a community manager. I would literally stream testing bugs that people would report. Those actually ended up being some fun streams. Especially whenever Pharma was around, because I would stream what would be like overnight for me, and it would be daytime for Pharma, so. To which channel am I referring? The absolute shit post channel. I was quickly reading some RO related things. Wow, I really feel like I did not gain as nearly as much terrain height as I should have this whole back area. Speaking of saving, I should probably do that now. All right, let's have a fly around, shall we? So y'all get to see the wonderful line that we've done. Just looks like trash out here because of the stinking world borders. This has really become like a much longer line than I thought it ever would be. That's all, the whole thing's for the iron mine. That legit goes from here all the way down to here. That is a quarter of my map on a 0.5%. Big bush. Oh wait, I need to look at that again. Hold on. I need to ask if I can share that. If that. Oh. That it really isn't awful. Oh God, how would that even work? There's some physical issues with that. Alright, I gotta see if I can pull this up somehow for you guys. I'm gonna post it in my Discord. Probably just gonna be under memes because it's terrible. But it's a picture of a big boy Shay. I don't have Discord open on this computer. Let me see if please pop open on like a screen that I'm aware of. No. Okay. Man, I really hate this sometimes. They're happy? Yes, Dark, I am. How's that? Alright. I might ruin my stream here. Oh, actually, you know what? This works. Hold on. Let me do a thing for you guys real quick. Oh. That's actually... So if I flip that back over here, y'all can see this quote-unquote big boy Shay. It's just awful. Actually, I need to change that. They've accidentally just showed the wrong server. Oops, that was a little mistake there. There we go. Pull that back up. That's my Discord. Y'all can see. I'll see the chat there. Anyway, yeah, that's cursed right there. I don't know who's decided that was a good idea, but that this. Why? This does not make any physical sense. Like, this would be attached to the boiler, the rigid frame here. But then, like, this is the duplexed frame, or the articulated frame. But that would mean that the boiler would have to be able to swing over all of this. So... Shay boy. Shay boy! Yeah. Let me fix that. Yeah. Anyway. Do you think God stays in heaven because he's too fears what he's created? Yes. Yeah. Anyway, guys, it is kind of getting to that time of the night, unfortunately. Where I do have to sadly end stream because I have to get up in the morning. Which makes me a sad panda. But yeah, we've absolutely doubled our line. We have not gotten nearly as far down as I wanted. And that makes me sad. So, yeah, with that said, thank you all so much for watching, as always. I do appreciate it. If you guys are not a part of the Discord server, feel free to join. The link for that in the description down below. If you guys are interested in other game titles such as Highball, COS, and all the other fun stuff, you guys can find that in the info channel under my Discord. There are some other links that will lead you to other fun places. Moving forward, content. Tomorrow, I cannot make any promises on what tomorrow will be in terms of content, whether we'll be back in this or doing something else. I do not know. It all depends on kind of what happens. There will be new streams, I don't think, this weekend unless I get Sunday to myself, in which case there might be. And then, yeah, we'll kind of just go from there. But yeah, so with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. It has been a pleasure. And until next time, guys, please enjoy. Also, Kenosha. It's kind of crazy. Speaking of crazy, I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A room with rats. Rats made me crazy. Slam the brakes! It's Kenosha! Fitting way to end the train wreck of a stream. Yeah. Okay. I promise. Stop talking. Maybe. Eh.